Okay, I haven't talked about it in a while. Let's talk about the all rare, free to play Phantom Shogun Grove team. Hello everybody, I'm Roadblock and this is a Raid Shadow Legends video. So today I want to talk about a team that I have made a video on before in the past many times. Probably about 3 times now I've made a video on this team. You can see above me it is an all rare team, and we're going to start the video right away and show you that it works. My biggest pet peeve whenever I make this video is that, especially because this is a video that like gets a lot of traction over a period of time, people come back to it and back to it, or new players that are new to the game and trying to figure out how to beat Phantom Shogun Grove, they find this team and the first thing they do in the comments, the team doesn't work, this is BS. And it's like, I'm showing you it works. Right at the very beginning of the video, you can clearly see all rare champions, right? We've got, I'll even move myself up here so you can see. We've got Reliquary Tender, Cold Heart, Gnarlhorn, I can't remember his name right now, Paragon, and then another Cold Heart, right? So you guys can clearly see that they are there. Sorry for the audio cutting out there, guys. That was me just tabbed out to move my camera around, but and you can just see the team is working. I mean, it's perfectly in sync. You can just see it with your own eyes. There is no trouble here. I'm going to ask my editor to not cut through this. Let's keep this whole thing in there so that players can see how the team works, right? You've got Gnarlhorn right there going in, punching. He is getting hit every single time. And Paragon is putting that unkillable on him so he can't die. And then everyone else just kills the boss. It's that simple, right? Listen up, I just got a new promo link that you can use to follow along with me on my latest free-to-play adventure and get a free Elenaril, as well as 3 more powerful epics as you level up. Here's how to do it. Log out of Plarium Play and uninstall. Click the link in the description and register with a brand new email. Launch Raid and complete the tutorial. Go to your inbox and claim your first champ. Don't miss out on your chance to get Elenaril right after signing up, as well as Fayne, Uugo, and Tagoar as you progress through Raid. Click on my link right now and let's crush this together. So the team works. You can clearly see it. I got 208 points for that, for the current tournament going on. And I understand that this is going to come out after this tournament happened, which is unfortunate. I would prefer for it to be beforehand, but it's just how I'm recording. And like I've said in multiple videos leading up to this one, I'm a little strapped for ideas, but this one keeps coming up. This team keeps coming up, and I want to highlight it for a couple of reasons. Number one, it's very easy to make. It's free to play because they're all rares, and you will get void rares. People all the time are like, well, I'm never going to get void rares. Like, look, you're not going to get them day one. This is not a day one account team. It's going to take time to build this team, but you will get these characters a lot over time. Once you're getting a consistent, influx of void shards from Demon Lord and whatever, you can get this team. I built this team on my other free-to-play account. It's a wonderful team, but I want to talk about the pros and the cons. Another comment I get on this video all the time is, well, why would you build this team? You could build a better team. I love freedom. For anyone that has ever built a unkillable clan boss team, back in the day, before Wixwell and all the very easy versions of it, we had very specific speed-tuned teams. And what sucks is when you put one of your best champions in that team as a damage dealer, and you have to keep them at a very specific speed. That sucks. You might get an upgrade to the gear. You might get a new crit damage gloves that brings way more attack for that champion, and it's just a pure stat improvement, but alters their speed by 1, and now your team doesn't work, and you have to refix everything to get the speed back to the way that you want And it's an example. I understand fixing one speed is probably pretty easy. That's not the point, guys. I'm just saying that I like having the freedom to rebuild my champions on a whim and be like, I want to build this guy. I want to play with this guy. Let's do it. And not worry that I'm going to screw up my speed-tuned team. This is a speed-tuned team. Everyone goes in a specific order. They all go in the same order every single time I run this boss, and they always kill it 100% of the time. We're going to talk about the strategy, we're going to talk about the why and all the other information in just a second, but most importantly, why do I love this team when I could build a 10-second, a 15-second team? Because I don't want to lock those champions into a very specific build or speed or anything of the sort. And I've tried to make faster teams. I want to be very clear about that. I have gone in there and tried to play with it and build like a team around my Acrizia or Marius or whatever. And not only is it frustrating to tune and to fix and to toy with, but it's never been as like, oh, obvious, like instant one kill the boss type stuff that everyone says it should be. Maybe my gear sucks, I don't know, but I don't ever get those 10-second teams on this boss. And I'm also if it ain't broke, don't fix it. This ain't broke. It's an all rare team. It's an incredibly good team. It's incredibly effective and consistent. And I don't have to move gear. I'm never going to rebuild my Cold Heart. I don't need to. Anywhere Cold Heart is good, I have Acrizia. I have Newt. Right? I'm never going to rebuild Reliquary Tender. Anywhere Reliquary Tender is good, I have Elva, I have Duchess, I have Pythion. Gnarlhorn is only used here, and Paragon is only used here for my account. He's also used in other things, but you can easily get another Paragon to build that. We're trying to use him for some cheese strategy somewhere else. So that is why I love this team. As an end game player, I love it because it gives me the freedom to move gear around my account however I want, and I just don't ever touch these rares. Plain and simple. It's that easy. Okay, now that we got that out of the way, let's talk about the team. Let's break it down and talk about how you can get there. Now, a couple of very, very important warnings before you attempt to build this team. You do need to have a certain number of blessings for it to work. There is a downside to it where if you don't have enough of the blessings spread across the team, a high enough level star count, it does have the potential to fail. This is one of the problems that has been identified to me by other players. I've never had it happen, but other players who built the team and didn't have enough stars in the ascension or the blessing, they failed. And I tinkered with their team. I tried to get it to work and we weren't able to get it to work. So you don't need to have full 6-star, full 5-star. Like, these are over the top. I think you can get away with just a couple of, 3-4-star blessings, but it's very good to have blessings on everybody because that keeps the counter down on the boss. If the counter gets too high, then the whole unkillable part of the strategy doesn't work and it all falls apart. We don't want to have that happen. So you do need to have blessings. If you build everything exactly the way that I build it and you are still failing, it's likely because you don't have the right number of blessing. And I say exactly how I built it. This is a speed-tuned team, okay? There is some little flexibility in the speeds for this team, but you need to be close. You can't try and run a 60 speed, well, you can't try to run a 96 speed Paragon. That's not going to work, okay? You need to stay within the bounds of this team. I found this team from a video made by Odd One Gaming, and he used the Hell Hades optimizer to find the team. I also used the optimizer to find the team and get my speeds to what the optimizer said that they would be. So don't just go off my video. You can use that optimizer to find other speeds within that same range and hopefully find something that will work with what you have on your account. So we have Cold Heart number 1. So Cold Heart number 1 doesn't have a mark here. Cold Heart number 1's stats are, I'm not going to talk about anything other than the speed and speed. So her speed is 252 speed. Cold Heart number 2 is 245 speed. Reliquary Tender, 284 speed. That's one of the harder ones to get. I recommend if you're struggling, go for Lure of Steel. That will help you get a little bit more speed out of the champion. Notice that Gnarlhorn and Paragon have no masteries. By the way, neither does Reliquary Tender on my free-to-play account that I don't play anymore. But she got away with no masteries, okay? Gnarlhorn has no masteries. He is at 180 speed. This is an important note. He's also at 302 crit damage. He needs to have more crit damage than the Cold Hearts, okay? So you want to make sure that you're getting him more crit damage. You can see I've got him in crit damage neck and crit damage gloves, and then I'm finding crit damage with big rolls elsewhere on the gear to try and put him over what the Cold Hearts are at. They are going to be your other higher crit damage champions. And then for Paragon, only level 50, no masteries, 175 speed. Okay, those are the speeds. Those speeds may vary. Just keep that in mind. I have had players tell me, oh, I couldn't get it to work, but at 175, I did 176 on Paragon and it worked. There are a lot of weird things that happen when it comes to speed tuning a team. Don't be afraid to kind of experiment and play around with it. If it's not working for you, just make sure you have a good number of blessings on the account to really kind of ensure that it works. But I love this team for all of those reasons that I said earlier, and you clearly saw that it worked, and we gave a breakdown of what is the strategy behind this. So Gnarlhorn has an attack. This attack cannot be a strong, critical, or weak hit. Whenever you weak hit the boss, they get a stack of their whatever it is. Let's look it up really quickly here. I can't remember the name of the thing. So they get a stack of shade, the shade counter. So as that shade counter goes up, he's gonna start doing more things that kind of avoid this and make it not work, right? So, but by default, he targets the enemy with the highest crit damage. So by building Gnarlhorn with the highest crit damage, he is always the target of Phantom Shogun Grove's ability. And because we keep that unkillable on him, he will just never die. And that's what Paragon is there for. Reliquary Tender is at the speed she is at to guarantee that we cleanse off all the enfeebles as soon as they get put out, which allows the Cold Hearts to attack without being enfeebled and giving him more shade stacks, because enfeeble makes your attacks a weak hit. With everyone on the team being void, we cannot weak hit outside of enfeeble. So the other thing I really want to talk about before we run this one more time is look at the times here. 5 minutes, 5:49, right? For these fights, I had to do them manually. This is a speed-tuned team for stage 25 and stage 25 only. This will not work on stage 24 or below unless you go in and manually change what abilities you use to get through it. Okay, so understanding how the team works is very important. I've talked about this in other videos. I had a lot of success just making sure that I always kept 2 stacks of unkillable on Gnarlhorn. And you can do that by using his own unkillable, but again, do it on manual. If he has 2 stacks of unkillable and this is off cooldown, don't use this. Wait until he's down to 1 stack of unkillable and then use it. And that should help you get through some of those, but you have to do them manually. The team will not work on auto on those difficulties, and I want to be very clear about that, okay? But I'll show it to you one more time so you guys can see there's no trickery, no shenanigans. We'll go ahead and run it again. It's a 100% team. You can see Gnarlhorn is the target. That enfeeble doesn't matter because he cannot weak hit. See, that was a normal hit. Target it again, right? And we immediately cleanse off the enfeebles so our Cold Hearts can get back to work without increasing the shade counter. That's this number right here. So now they're back up to 5. and we take it down with a high blessing number. Because when you have, let me pause this very, very quickly. Let's take off auto. Is the shade counter is decreased according to the awakening level on the champion. So we reduce that shade counter. So it's up to 8 right now. We'll put this back on auto. And you can see Phantom Touch Cold Heart took it back to 0. This is why those blessings matter, to keep that shade counter down and keep doing those attacks. But you can see Gnarlhorn keeps being the target. Unkillable is on him almost all of the time. We get Enfeeble immediately cleansed off. Immediately. Because it's a speed-tuned team. I have to emphasize that. Because someone is going to come into the comments and be like, this team sucks, bro. And it's like, no, this is amazing. This is perfectly tuned. It takes a little bit longer. A minute. Guys, 9 times out of 10, I'm running this dungeon overnight or while I'm at work, right? I'm never running it and just waiting and you know, come on, hurry up. I want to finish. I got to go. It's like, nah, it's a minute, you know? So there you go. 214 points for that. That's based on the type of rewards that we get here. But yeah, you can clearly see it works 100%. If you're trying to tell me it doesn't work, you're wrong. Okay, guys, I've been running this team for years now. All right, trust me. Trust me, bro. Hopefully this finds you all well. Hopefully you enjoy this content. If you're new here, please consider subscribing. It is the best way to support the channel and help me make more videos talking about teams like this. Thank you for watching, and I look forward to seeing everybody in the next video when I get back from my trip. Take care.